first is Carmen Sandiego.
Where is Carmen Sandiego? Carmen Sandiego, where on earth can she be? Tell me where is Carmen Sandiego? Carmen Sandiego, where on earth can she be? Where on earth can she be? Lady Tower Lisa, Timbuktu, can you help us find a
On this stakeout, and all we've caught are some rays, Ivy.
Well, hey, if CrimeNet's right and Carmen is after the statue of Little Mermaid, it wouldn't hurt to brush up on our Hans Christian Andersen. We might scope out a clue as to why she'd want it.
What is it, boy?
Saved himself, but it looks like we've got trouble.
It's Carmen busting a move.
Whoa! Hjälp! Det är så väldigt klart!
Let's check those ice pirates into the penalty box, sis.
She comes! Come on!
Here goes nothing. I got the statue! And you're next, Carmen!
Nice save, Zach!
But we missed Carmen again!
My detectives froze you out this time, Carmen.
Mark my words, player. The last chapter has yet to be written on this little story.
Brother and sister detectives Zach and Ivy foiled yet another attempted heist by Carmen Sandiego and captured 2 henchmen. Boy, all this publicity is getting pretty embarrassing, huh, Zach?
Speak for yourself. They've been giving me freebies at the arcade all week, sis.
Our CrimeNet bulletin just in, so we interrupt this cheap tabloid journalism.
Hey, I happen to like cheap tabloid journalism, Chief. Especially when it's about me.
Well, while you sit on your big fat laurels, Zach, Carmen Sandiego's on the move again. She was just spotted in London, that's in England, near the house of this dude, famous 19th century author
Charles Dickens! Oh, I love his novels! I bet I've read A Christmas Carol a dozen times!
What's with the writers? First Hans Christian Andersen and now Charles Dickens.
Maybe Carmen's joined the Steal a Literary Classic of the Month Club. Player, C5 us to Charles Dickens' house.
Righto, grab your deerstalkers. You're on your way from San Francisco to London, England, sleuthing ground of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's famous detective, Sherlock Holmes himself.
London is the capital city of England and home of Westminster Abbey, the Empire State Building, and the Tower Bridge.
Chief, the Empire State Building is in New York City.
New York City? Sorry about that. The mainframe's been cross-linking files all day. Security is checking it out.
Hey, that's Oliver Twist!
He's the orphan boy from Charles Dickens' first big book.
Yep, and get this twist, pardon the pun. Oliver was inspired by Dickens' own life. Young Charles's real family was so poor, they were tossed into prison when they couldn't pay their bills. And 12-year-old Chuck had to go to work in a shoe polish factory to feed himself, and that stuff tastes terrible.
Come here, you little Dickens.
Wonder if that's where that saying came from. Oh, well, check please, I'm out of here.
The lass got away.
We're from the Acme Detective Agency, and that's no lass!
That's Carmen Sandiego. Come on.
Police business, mate. The tourists will have to wait.
Ivy, you're driving on the wrong side of the street.
Relax, Zach! You're supposed to drive on the left side in England.
She went into Trafalgar Square. Where's the woman who was on this bike?
She went that way. Let's split up. She can't be far. It's Carmen!
When Charles Dickens began writing, his publisher paid him by the line, the paragraph, or the page. When Charles Dickens was first published, he was paid by the line.
Hope you don't mind if I share your cab, detectives. As a famous American poet Robert Frost once wrote, I've miles to go before I sleep.
Yeah, well, as this poet says, roses are red, violets are blue, Carmen is gone, so what do?
We go check out Dickens' house, little bro, and see what Carmen stole. The curator says the only thing missing is Charles Dickens' inkwell.
Why an inkwell when she could have ripped off any of these antique books? David Copperfield by Charles Dickens, A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens, A Christmas Carol by... Whoa! Charles Dickens' favorite writer must have been Charles Dickens.
Zach, look! This one's brand new. The biggest what?
It's gotta be a clue to Carmen's next robbery. Player, info scan things that are the biggest of their kind.
Biggest fish, the whale shark.
Carmen's into writers, player. What's big that has to do with writing?
Biggest word in the English language, 45 letters. Pneumono-ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. Thank you. It means a lung disease caused by inhaling very fine dust particles.
Hey, check it out, Ivy. The only thing big here is the mistake we're making. Look at the cover page, written by nom de plume. Nom de plume, that means a made-up name writers use instead of their real ones, doesn't it? Player, info scan famous writers who didn't use their real names.
Alice in Wonderland was written by Lewis Carroll, whose real name was Charles Dodgson. O. Henry, of those oh-so-surprise-ending short stories, was really William Sidney Porter. And Charles Dickens even published his first work under the nom de plume, Buzz.
Zach, here's some interesting reading. Chapter 1. You'll find me at the river, and never the Clemens shall meet.
No wonder Carmen used a nom de plume. She can't even get her cliches right. It's supposed to be, and never the twain shall meet.
Zach, Carmen did that on purpose. Samuel Clemens wrote under the nom de plume Mark Twain. Clemens Twain, that's the clue.
You'll find me at the river, and never the twain shall meet. I'll bet my library card she's after something belonging to Mark Twain.
And the river's gotta be the Mississippi. Some of his most famous stories took place along its banks. Player, C5 us to the Mark Twain Museum in Hannibal, Missouri. Carmen's book tour is about to come to an end.
You're on your way from London, England to Hannibal, Missouri in the good old USA. Missouri is home to some of the Mississippi riverboats, the St. Louis Gateway Arch, and where 33rd President of the United States, Harry S. Truman, was born.
Whoa, looks like rush hour in New York City, Chief.
Well, the Mississippi River is the main water highway in the United States. It's over 2,000 miles long and runs through 10 states. In the mid-1800s, Samuel Clemens, a.k.a. Mark Twain, rode the Mississippi in a riverboat. In fact, that's how he got the idea for that nom de plume of his. Young Sam had a job measuring the depth of the water, and when it was safe to pass, he'd yell,
Mark Twain!
That's just 2 feet higher than a basketball hoop.
Okay, here.
Chief, what's wrong?
Security's trying to work out the mainframe glitch. We'll handle it, no problem, bookworms. You brace yourself for a landing in Hannibal, Missouri, and stop Carmen Sandiego!
Another smooth landing. Huh?
Just what do you think you're doing wrecking this fence?
Mark Twain?
You see him too? Ah, good, because I thought it was the fall.
Sir, it was an accident.
Accident or no, today is our big celebration for Mark Twain, and I'm going to do some readings right in front of this famous fence as soon as you repair it.
Gee, I'm sorry. You can send the bill to the Acme Detective Agency.
Build my foot! You're gonna fix it!
Didn't Mark Twain once say, never put off till tomorrow what you can do the day after tomorrow?
He said it, but he wasn't talking about you.
Great. We're supposed to be tracking Carmen. Now what are we gonna do?
Maybe we can use an idea from a Mark Twain book, little bro. Boy, this sure is fun, huh, Zach?
What are you, nuts? I hate painting.
So did Tom Sawyer, but remember what he did to get out of it?
All right. I'd rather paint than just about anything in the world.
That's really fun. Can I try?
Nah, only big kids are allowed to have this much fun. Sorry.
Hey, I'm big. I caught a 25-pound catfish right out of the Mississippi River.
Hey, I'm bigger than he is.
Yeah?
I'll give you my trusty pocket tool pal if I can paint.
And I'll give you my fishing line and my skateboard.
Well, you gotta hand it to Tom Sawyer. He sure knew how to make hard work pay off. Come on. That's Carmen's henchwoman, Paige Turner.
She's a world-renowned expert on literature and loves playing out crimes from famous novels.
While I distract everyone with a reading from their hero, you steal Twain's cherry writing desk.
Mind if we redecorate?
Not so fast, detectives. Carmen said you two might show up for my reading. You'll have to excuse me, detectives. My public awaits.
First Charles Dickens' inkwell, now Mark Twain's writing desk. What is Carmen up to?
The only way we'll find out is by checking out.
Tom Sawyer was a made-up story, but it was based on real people in Mark Twain's life.
Hurry, Zach!
And it's true that Mark Twain himself was once really lost in a cave with a childhood girlfriend named of Laura Hawkins, an adventure he later wrote into Tom Sawyer.
Look, another Carmen clue book.
No time now unless you speed read, little bro.
Stop! She's pretending to be me, pretending to be Mark Twain!
If Huck Finn traveled the Mississippi by raft, so can we.
Ivy, he wasn't chasing a speedboat.
True, but he didn't have an outboard motor, and we do.
Ivy, go right! Go right! Go right! Ah!
I can't!
What U.S. river runs through 10 states? The Mississippi River runs through 10 American states.
What's the bill for that raft?
Yeah, especially after us losing Page Turner and Mark Twain's writing desk.
At least we still have Carmen's book.
You two look like something the catfish dragged in.
It's a long story, Captain. Care to hear it over a cup of cocoa?
Look at all these names. Oliver Twist, Jim Hawkins, Huckleberry Finn.
Heidi, Meg, Beth, Joe, and Amy March. Mowgli.
They're all kids from famous novels.
Player, cross-reference these characters.
Still having technical difficulties, Gumshoes? Please stand by.
Oh, man, not again. Hey!
Whoa-ho-ho! Hot tip from CrimeNet. Looks like Carmen just swept into India like a monsoon, where she stole a jungle ruin similar to one described by Rudyard Kipling in his Jungle Books.
Ah, Mowgli. People are so uncivilized. Aren't you glad you were raised by wild beasts?
Dickens' Inkwell, Twain's Desk, Kipling's Jungle Ruin. What do they have in common?
Well, Charles Dickens wrote about Oliver Twist, Rudyard Kipling wrote about Mowgli, and both were kids without families, right?
Right, but Mark Twain wrote Tom Sawyer and he had a family. I mean, not parents, but he lived with his Aunt Polly, remember?
Wait a minute, Zach, that's it! Tom Sawyer, Oliver Twist, and Mowgli were all orphans!
So?
So, if there's another orphan on Carmen's list, look! Heidi! She was an orphan girl who lived in the Swiss Alps.
Heidi was written by Johanna Spyri in Switzerland. That's gotta be the connection, Ivy.
Player, C5 us to the Alps, home of writer Johanna Spyri.
Hope you brought your Swiss Army knife, kids, because we're on our way from the flatlands of Hannibal, Missouri, to the mountainous terrain of Mayenfeld, Switzerland.
Hey, isn't that Hannibal and his elephant?
Yep. Back in 218 BC, this famous Carthaginian general marched his whole army and a pack of pachyderms right over the Swiss Alps. Boy, if one of these guys got a head cold, you'd know it.
Gesundheit. Good thing I packed my pachydermal underwear.
Look, Ivy! Well, one thing you can always say for Carmen, she's dramatic. The biggest crimes of all time. That's what the biggest meant.
So that's what all this is about. Twain's Desk, Dickens' Inkwell. Carmen's writing her memoirs.
And she stole a ruin Kipling described, putting it on a remote mountaintop for
The perfect writer's hideaway.
Then why did you lead us here with clues if you wanted to be left alone, Carmen?
I needed to take you offline for a while, detectives. You see, while you were running around the world, Professor Sarah Bellum was hacking into the Acme computer system.
That's why the mainframe's been acting up. You were playing around with CrimeNet files.
Not playing, Zach. I've just stolen the entire Acme Detective Agency.
What?
That's impossible!
It's my most brilliant crime ever, and the perfect final chapter for my memoirs. See you on the bestseller list.
Gotta get that CD back!
We'll never catch her!
Maybe we won't have to if we can make her drop it!
Huh?
Big fresh snowfall on top of old icy packed snow plus noise equals...
Yes! We did it, Zach! She dropped the CD!
Yes, the Fish-O-Matic. It casts, it reels, it catches endangered floppies. Sorry, Carmen. This is one last chapter you'll never write.
Nice catch, Zach. Too bad you'll never be able to do that with me.
She gets away every time. What's the use of chasing her?
Perk up, little bro. We got everything back, didn't we?
But we always get everything back, sis. When are we gonna get her? That's an ending I want someone to write for us.
We'll bring it up at the next staff meeting once we get the chief back online.
Yeah, a big splashy ending with Carmen going to jail and you and me on the cover of magazines all over the country. We'll go on Donahue. We'll get our own book deal. We'll be famous.
Acme's back in business, Carmen, and your thieving days are numbered.
Ha! One of the rules to good writing applies here, player. Only write about what you know, and anything unnecessary, cut.